Got it? Oh, okay. So we're recording, huh? Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right, so first of all, thank you for making the time to come in. I don't think we did introductions, but.
I don't know anybody.
I know nothing. So, yeah, okay, so obviously we're here
Do you
to.
know everybody?
I know everybody. Because you have to. No, I can't.
Well, all of us sending him emails. Please, can we have that?
Help. Yeah, but sending an email is different than seeing a person.
This is true.
Just in case I'm on war.
I'm Law. See, equity.
Appreciate it.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Sue.
Hi, Sue. I'm Twan. Hi, Twan.
Hi, Troy. And Humberto.
Hi, Humberto.
There you go, I was wondering. All right, now that we know. So have you guys started to play with this AI? It's in every shell that you have, it is there. So it really is. If you have already started, very good. If not, we'll go through it today. Um, and in the previous session, we actually had someone from, not this morning, but the one before, we actually had someone from Blackboard. Her name is Tanya Burns. So she's one of our reps. If there's any questions that might come up here and I might not know the answer, I will definitely make sure that I'll direct it to her. And with that, let's just get started. Or before I get started, actually, a couple of things I want to mention. So the AI design assistant was built by Ontology with partnership with Microsoft. And they actually have created this system under these premises, under fairness, reliability, humans in control, transparency and explainability, privacy, security and safety, and accountability. And those are their principles. And there's actually they have a website. You can actually go in there and want to know more about how that is actually are part of the guidelines of how this is actually being developed, because it continues to be developed, it continues to be added into new pieces in the system. So in any case, it will be ontology.com, and you can just look at the Trust Center, and you have everything about the history, how it's been developed, and if there's any changes to that. Also, anything that we're going to see today, yes.
So you're saying they're in conjunction with Microsoft?
Yes.
Is that correct? So they're using their Copilot?
They're using, okay, yes. Now, in addition to that, I'm not gonna go with this. This is more of a walkthrough. So anything that you see step by steps, all of that is actually on their website. And I definitely will share that with you guys. There's a link there that tells you how to do it and everything, but it's pretty intuitive. I don't think, that you're already using Blackboard, it's already there. So some of these things might just be very intuitive to say, here's how I do it. But they do have everything already online as far as help, and that's through their help center, and that's their link. Again, I can forward that to you guys. It's not a problem. Or you can always reach out to me as well, get you the answers. So with that in mind, let's see what we're going to be doing tonight. So first thing this is all through AI and all the tools. So we're going to actually create a course banner. And these are suggestions. So anything you do here are suggestive. You either use it or don't use it. If you want to modify it, modify it. It really, that is, you are in control. And that is one of the key components here is that you don't have to use it if you don't want to, or you can use partial pieces of this tool, depending on your needs for your course. We're going to auto-generate learning modules using AI. We're going to actually look at images to integrate into your previous courses that you already have. We're going to actually create images through Ultra documents, and we'll see what that is. We'll talk about to generate authentic discussions and journal. And discussions in the journals are almost the same, so we'll just stick with one, but it's pretty much the same. We will generate questions through the AI, and we also look at how to create question banks through the AI. And lastly, we'll look at rubrics. Now, as you guys know, rubrics is it's a whole science of why and how and all that. We're not going to get into that discussion here, but I'm going to show you how to create the rubric itself into your course. And then from there, you can modify it to do whatever how it will work for you as well. Just know that we're just going to show you how to create it. Beyond that, we will not touch on that here. So this is what we're doing today. We're ready to go. Okay. So let's start. Yes.
It said generate authentic discussion. Why did they use the word authentic there?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right. So how many of you are already using banners in your courses? Perfect. And so you guys know how difficult, like you have to find an image, and then if you find an image you really like, and then you put it in there, and then it'll start to blurry because it doesn't have the same size and that. Well, you don't have to worry about that with this piece. And everything that you see here, all these images are very user-free. So in other words, first to use images, don't have to worry about, you can use free to use it in your courses. That is already been clear. So that's another piece that helps a lot when you're actually building courses. You're on the bench, you have to worry about finding them.
So where those images are coming from?
So they're AI generated, and there's also they have a bank of images that you can just grab from.
That they have,
Yes.
the AI has created.
Yes. And let me just show you here.
If you could show me how to put my own in there, that's because I have my own images
Okay.
that I'd like to put in there.
So let's look at my course. I'm teaching a history of rock and roll. I'm not. Oh, come on. Sounds like a fun class, I think. First thing is, as you already know, so you will go to the edit display settings. Here's my position where I will click on the image, and at this point, I would upload the image, just like what you said, Jim. If you want to upload your image, this is how you would do it. So if you save in your computer, this is typically the way you're doing it now. But the next option is stock images from Unsplash, which is where they actually have those images located. Now, one of the things that happens here is that for the banners, it tries to look at the course and it tries to take a guess as to what the course is. And I like this example because it actually is looking at rocks, but not those kind of rocks. Right? We're looking at rock and roll, but it's giving me that. So, and this is where you as the expert have to keep an eye on this thing. It doesn't go a little bit goofy. So instead of doing just a rock, what about if I say rock and roll? So I'm going to do the search, and there it is. So I actually got 10,000 results. I can just keep on with many images as I want. I personally like this picture here, so I will use this one. I'll select it. And then one of the nice things about it is that now you can actually select where will you want that image to be landing for your course. So for me, I will use something. I think I like it somewhere there. I can even zoom in more if I want to.
That's the problem I have. So I can't use the whole image.
Because you don't have the right size. And this is what I was talking about.
My view is it doesn't have the right size. My picture's perfectly wonderful.
So here it goes. So I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to save the image, and voila, that's my image now. Very simple. So you can find the image the way that you like.
Quick question. With the image embedded in there, is it also accessibility behind it?
Yes, it adds it automatically. Yeah,
Okay.
and you can edit that as well. If you want to add more descriptions to it, you can do that as well.
Okay.
Because once it's here, it becomes just part of like what you typically you have already done. It's just the finding of the image for you. That's what it's doing for you know saving you a lot of time there. Okay, so let's so we go down. Let's do the next one. So I have my image now, my course, and now I want to do some modules. I want to add something to my class. So my class, you know, typically that's how it comes, right? But it's the two things is blank, and I want to add something. So once again, we're looking at a course that is blank. Okay, so typically to add modules, you will go here, you would use the create, but now you have this how to generate modules here. And that is the AI piece. So now, right now it's looking at the title of that course and the things that it has learned already. And it's trying to take a guess. And look how, it's pretty cool, right? Because it's already like, okay, so this is somewhere you as an instructor need to have an introduction, somewhere you have to have another piece and another piece. And it's doing two things. It's looking for text that, again, you're looking at the framework. It's not giving you anything beyond that. But it's also generating pictures for you, which is pretty amazing. But not only that, so right now you're looking at it from here, it's giving you kind of like, it's giving you a suggestion here. But you can actually have it a little bit more in depth. If this looks good to you, then that's fine. Now, before I jump to that part, there's other pieces here. Title prefix, complexity, and the number of learning modules. So let's say that my class.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think I missed something. So how does it know, because you have the title, history of rock and roll, and then you have this automatic auto-generate whatever. So based on the title, it gives you some.
Based on what it has
material.
already learned about academia, about courses.
Okay.
It's trying to put
Because I was
together.
like, how this is, if you didn't look for them, like, yeah, it's one thing to search on chat, GPT, something, but this one, if they, how do they show up? It's just because you have the title, so it's kind of
Let me repeat
thinking.
that again. Because of the information, the data that has been fed to the AI. Think about ChatGPT, that is one format. This is the same format, it's just that it's inside, built inside.
But what did you put
Blackboard.
the keyword, let's say, because I didn't see that.
That will be in your title.
The title of
your
the
title
course.
course.
Let me
Or
try
because
it.
of the title course, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
so that's done.
Okay.
And we can't have it build off something else like my syllabus or whatever?
Yes, so
Okay.
here's what this is the next step. So first up, we got that question answer, right? So let me just start one once again. Maybe this is just jump too fast. But, didn't capture. So this is my title.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
my
so I
class,
kind of was
101,
based on
right.
that, okay.
So I'm gonna create my modules. Typically, I will do it manually, but this time I want to use the auto-generate modules. The AI is looking at my title and is now looking at
Yeah, that makes
suggested
sense, okay.
pieces of what it's going to give you.
Oh,
Now,
that's pretty.
I could actually grab my syllabus and have you have a 10-unit piece, and it's all I can just put it there. That's the bullet points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Copy paste into
Yeah,
description? Okay.
Or you can even make it. I can even say 1960s,
Okay, cool.
and then I can even say I want it week, and I want it for 7 weeks. That's what I was trying to get.
Cool.
at, right?
Oh, okay.
Complexity. I can just know that high, it will be all the way to a PhD. So somewhere in here, and this is where you are the expert there. Like really the complexity of how you want it to be easy, moderate, how difficult. Okay. So
The module itself is blank. There's nothing
yes,
in
there is
it.
nothing in
Then
the
what's the complex? What does complex mean then?
and this particular thing will be the description of those modules.
Yeah.
Now watch this.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna hit the generate because now I modify it. And I also put the 1960s.
Yeah.
I could have just could have just copied everything else, but here it is. See that introduction of the 1960s rock and roll?
Nice.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And there you have it.
So now when you click, for example, you click week 1, then it's something there related to that topic, right?
So at this point, you're just, it's giving you that framework. So now I review this, I like it, it's generating these pictures for me. I do like those pictures as well, so I'm just gonna select those. I'm just
Or
gonna
you
say-
could hit generate, it'll do it again, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime you click on it, it generates, it doesn't repeat it, it generates different text. And this is where, when we say that you are in control, because once I add these modules here,
Then they are part of the course content.
now they're part of my course.
Mhm.
And if there's something here that I want to add more to that, I can just edit it and I can continue adding more. Or if there's something in here that is just too complex for that description, then I can change it. And that's where that piece that you are in control. Or if you don't like it, you can delete it and create a new one.
But if you go, for example, to the, let's say, one of the modules, like week 1 or whatever week, so what is the, just that little description and the picture?
Right now, it's an empty module.
Okay.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm thinking, I think for some people, it's like a folder, if you put it in like a folder.
Mm-hmm.
But my question for you, let's say we did generate this, but what if we didn't like the pictures? Can we change?
You can change it,
change
and
out
we'll
the
get to that
picture
part.
Rather regenerating it over?
Yes,
Okay.
and we'll get to that part.
So now, since you have the folder, like you can just add materials that correspond to that topic?
We'll get into that part.
But those are learning modules, not folders, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Learning modules, which is a
Because you
little
can't
bit
put
different.
learning module into a
Do
folder.
folder, yeah, you can do that.
So there's restrictions on what you can put in, how learning modules get dealt with by Blackboard.
All right, so let's look at our next capability. So now let's look at the, let's say that you created that, but you have all the previous courses and you like your course, you don't have the images and you want to add those images. So I have an older course, and let's assume that that's 2023. I should have changed the number. But let's say that this is my class that I was using for the last semester or last year, and I like it, but I don't have any images. So the way I will do it, I will just go here, I delete edit. I will go here. I can click either here or here. It doesn't really matter. And then here are my two options. I can either use the stock images from Unsplash or generate the images. So I can either do that. And again, you can actually add a description to that picture so it actually finds a picture that will match best that particular module that you're looking at. That's what
Yeah.
you're looking for. So, but here it is. It's giving you now. One thing I will say is I really, and this is for any other AI, this is not just this. AIs are really bad with hands. Like they'll these crooked hands, and it's just really goofy. So really look at the pictures before, like look at this hand. So I wouldn't be using that. And sometimes even like the images, they just don't make any sense. So I wouldn't be using those images. So always keep an eye on that.
Eyes also, eyes and
Yes.
text. Text
Yes.
can be a
Text
problem.
could be, yeah, well, sometimes it does a mirror, which is the opposite side. So I don't like any of those images, so I'm just gonna change that here. And
Are those generated or photographs by
no,
those
these
people?
these are already in stock. These are
Okay.
already, yes, these are pictures that you can grab. So for instance, I do like this picture here. I want to use that one. It's 1960s and get it to hello, I can just use that and I can hit save. And there's my picture. And I can just keep going. Right, we already know the other one.
Humberto, if by chance we copy this, will it copy the images as well?
Yes, it does. When you do the course copy, it copies everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that part. Now let's generate images inside ultra documents. Now, the one thing I will say about documents before we get to that part, this AI I think, well, I know that ChatGPT 4 does open documents, but for this particular in Blackboard, if you have a document, an ultra document, and I'll get to that part, what an ultra document is. If you have attachments, it cannot, right now, it cannot open those documents.
Okay.
It will just read what's in that screen, in that text. One of the things, and one of the news that I got from Tanya is that they're hoping that by the end of this year, that will be a function embedded already there. So it will be there at some point. They're working on it, and they added more things. I actually noticed one more thing that I'll show you today that it wasn't there 2 days ago. Actually, I noticed it yesterday. So they keep adding things. Sometimes they add little tiny things they don't even announce because they have tested it, or they're actually making sure that the behavior is actually appropriate. And all of a sudden, they just release everything and say, okay, put this up where we are.
So now the Ultra Blackboard has the AI embedded?
On every course that you have. Yes.
Oh, really?
Mhm. All right, so let's see what are we doing. Sorry. So here's my course. Now this is a different course that I have. Notice that now I already have my banner, a nice banner. I even put it on my ebook. Right? Oh, and that's the other thing I forgot to mention. Also, anything that you have links out, like if you're using ebooks or anything like that, if the AI is not going to go and grab anything from there either. So just, I'm saying this, it sounds a little bit obvious, but I did have that question before, which no, it doesn't chase that outside of what you have to here. So, all right, so I'm going to go into my grid. I have this document here. Notice I have, this is what is called an ultra document. And I have all my text. Now, I wanted to be a little bit more, appealing to the students rather than just being text. So I can actually go here, I can do edit, and then here's my little icon for images. Once again, I can just do that, and it will give me that. Again, depending on what the document you're looking for, I can either do that, or I can just, maybe I can do computer system or something. And I will just do this. And that's the image. I like that image, so I'm going to use that image. Go here.
So they have names associated with them. Are those people who took photographs or generated images?
Yeah, those are pictures. They are stock images. They have actually people taking pictures.
Taking pictures.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And here, do you see the alternative text?
Because that's the whole question, you know, about credits.
And
Who
if
gets
you want
credit
to,
for what?
if you want to add it, and if you want to add more to it, you can add more to it in the description.
There's one from Microsoft Word, some Microsoft has the rights to the show. But I generate my own pictures and then put them in there. And then underneath that says generated by video frame. I get it credit for it. It's clear that I did it, but I didn't use it.
Okay, so
It's a big
there's my
question.
document
Who gets
now,
credit for what?
and that's how you would do it. Another thing too is that, and you probably already know this, you can also create these ultra documents. If you have PDF files, you can open the PDF, copy and paste, and and then you can have that document there rather than just have the PDF as a link. And I'll show you later on why that would be actually a good idea to. All right, so we did that. The next one will be authentic discussions. So we kind of know now that, plagiarism is like, how do you catch them? You can't. It really, the systems have gotten to that point that there's really no way that you can actually determine what was written, unless you really are familiar with that student, right? And but at some point they get really smart using the tool. At some point you just can't really pinpoint if that's something that was copied or their own original work. So one of the things that ontology has done now is using something called authentic assessment. And it really is based on human experiences. And that's one of the things that AI cannot build, doesn't know how to do that. It can actually give, you can ask it, give me an experience that you had, it doesn't have it. So it will try to replicate something, but it's always not quite there. So that's where this is actually helping you to actually create a framework of generating questions or discussions that help you to do that. For instance, if you have a document, right, and you go, okay, I want to create a discussion in this based on an authentic assessment. Some documents are easy to say, well, yeah, give me your experience on how to build Lego house. That's an easy one, but sometimes you guys have concepts that are a little bit more difficult, a little bit more complex to actually come up with something there, an example. So this is where this actually is very helpful. So let's do that. Let's just do that. So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna go into my course, and let me verify real quick. So where am I doing this? First one. So we all know how to generate a discussion. We go through that. We want to go to the discussion. So this here is where you will just type it in, right? You will type in the discussion that you want. But you can also have this auto-generate discussion. And once again, you have these controllers on the side where you can actually narrow down your discussions.
How did you get there? I didn't see.
Let me do it again. Auto-generate.
Oh, up there. Okay, I thought I saw your cursor down in the box.
So, and it automatically, once again, is trying to look at the course itself, it's trying to see where you are, and it's giving you it's giving you kind of like a startup here. So you can actually see it. In today's digital age, technology has revolutionized from social media platforms and messengers there reflect on real life experience. See that? So now it's actually asking student, okay, so you read the content now in your experience or something. So this is actually a good startup if you like this one. And you can also, once again, you can narrow it down by adding concepts here that you want. You will do the same thing with ChatGPT. You just put it in there. You just do it. You're just doing it here. So if you have a context, for instance, and let's do that. Let's just do that. So far, so good? Well, before I get to that part, and then you can actually see when you do the Inspire Me, it actually gives you 3 different ones, cognitive level to evaluate, analyze, or create. Or you can just pick, you can just pick which one that you want to use. And then when you do that, just remember that you have to hit the analyze button, generate, I'm sorry. Generate button, so you actually, because you did that. You let it finish, and I'll show you now.
Well, why is doing that, Humberto? Let's say, for example, like for my class, my discussions are based off a book that's outside the class itself. Can it do the same thing? But it would have to know the textbook, the book that they're reading and the author.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let me show you this first, and then we'll touch on that for a second. All right, so it gave me that. It's like, you know what? I already have my document, and this is fine, but I really wanted to have this discussion on my document that I have here. So I'm going to go here, and based on this, I want to just on that particular thing. So I'm going to copy this.
Cool. Would you you right click to copy, you're gonna put in the description now?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
So now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to create, I'm gonna create a discussion. I'm gonna auto-generate, and then I'm going to paste that. And now I'm gonna tell it to generate. And now it's going to make a discussion based on that text.
That's great.
Now, let's talk about what you just, your question. So that's the one issue. You cannot go out to grab anything. But if you have that document, either in a PDF format or if you have it on some way that you can actually copy and paste, you could potentially create an ultra document, paste it there, create your discussion, and then you can just delete the ultra document. If it's
Okay.
something that you're not allowed to put in there.
So the book I'm talking about is a PDF file that's in my course.
Okay.
I told my students not to purchase it. I have a PDF file.
Mhm.
I want them to use that as their reading material. So you're saying as long as it's in the course, it will generate some
No, it
discussion.
won't. It cannot open it.
It cannot.
It cannot open it, but if you're having them, there's two ways that you can do this. Let's say the way that you have it right now. So it's a link that you have somewhere, right? And they click on it.
No, it's actually embedded into the course. It's a PDF file
And
embedded.
it opens.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's the way it is, it cannot read it. Because
Okay.
it's still embedded. Like it's still in it contained
It's
into that.
self-contained, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it won't read it. But if you have sections in there that you want it to be a discussion, you can highlight those, copy it, and then put it here.
That's what.
And then that's how you do it.
Okay.
So like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Very good. How long description can this thing accept?
So far,
We're
what
talking about a whole
Thank you.
box, so like.
Yeah.
well, you wouldn't do a whole
War
book,
piece.
Yeah.
but it could actually hold, the last time someone actually did the test, and it's about 1,000 words, which is pretty decent. You know, if you have, if it's more, obviously you will have to do many of those, but.
Right, but when you were saying, I was thinking, because I have a synopsis for each of the
Mhm.
chapter. Now I'm thinking, when you said that, now I can do that part.
Yep.
I won't do the entire book because that's 444 pages. But
Yeah.
the synopsis of each chapter.
That's the perfect one. Yep,
Okay,
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to clarify for myself, like based on your case. So if you have a PDF, right, and like you said, the AI cannot go into that PDF, right? But then if you take like whatever paragraph, whatever part, then you put in this auto-generated discussion, then that can be used, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and all those, I mean, depends on the document and the preferred uses that you have for that
But there is no
document.
way to link like for example, his PDF to link
No,
link
that
that
doesn't
to-
work, no.
Okay.
But I would just put his PDF into ChatGPT and have it create summaries for me that are under 1,000 words.
Yeah, there you go.
And then just take those and pop them in there.
But can you put in ChatGPT the whole, like he said,
Yeah,
like
the
you said,
entire
whole-
book, sure. Well, I
Can you
mean,
do
if you
it?
have the papers.
Right.
If you don't have the papers, you can use Claude, it'll take files.
Oh, because it's, yeah.
You can attach files in
So
Claude.
if you have the
for free months.
synopsis, that's enough.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, for my book, because it's not a textbook, it's a reading book that they have for my math for educators. It's a book.
Mhm.
It's talking about how to utilize mathematics in the classroom for grades from 1 through 5.
Mhm.
So I have a synopsis for each
So
chapter.
yeah, and then you can
That's
take
what I
that.
was right. So
Yeah, I
I was,
understand that.
I'll copy the synopsis and have it generate.
Yeah, no, but I was just
Oh,
curious,
that'd
like
be
why
great.
can't you take the whole PDF and link it to the AI, but it doesn't work with them, unless like you said.
All right, so then
I like that function.
let's go to the next one, which is now, let's create, okay. So the next one is, let's create test questions, right? And that's usually what it takes you the most time. Start working on your, well, for some.
Yeah.
I would think,
mean, I have the
it will take me
publisher-
time.
I have the publisher do it, like, they take care of it.
So.
I mean, they send me a test bank with the book, so.
But this is pretty cool. I've tried it like
Yeah,
impromptu,
that's
right in
right.
the cloud, to generate 5 questions, and let's just
For
do it.
chemistry, but can you get like organic chemistry structure is not really.
I was thinking about you. You teach organic chemistry. Any of this would be challenging.
I don't think you can do it, right? Yeah.
So let me see, where am I doing? So here's my class.
I might go in here just to
Oh,
get the
so
questions and take them out.
And, okay, well, let's assume that you are like me and you don't have what Jim just said. And I started my test and I just drew a blank. It's like, oh, forget it. I don't have the time right now, or And I just started with that blank thing there. Because you can actually have it like that. So from here, you can,
I don't know.
Create.
so you know how to create a test.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, in my example, I'm just saying, I started it and then I just walked away and I just didn't finish it.
What
But,
do you mean, like to create a test on AI or what?
no, just to create a test in Blackboard.
Oh, Blackboard,
general,
oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
In
that's
general. This is
Yeah.
just a regular test. That's my point. It's just a test. So now I want to fill it with questions. So the way that you do that, you could actually auto-generate questions. See that? Typically, you will, tap, you will do add a question and you type it in there, and then you go to the next one and so on. In here, you can actually, and once again, here's what's actually a new thing that is coming out. Here's just give you questions on what it knows about that course. And it's just suggestions. There might be some of the fun questions that you can actually use, right? Because they are here. And once again, you have the complexity, you have the number of questions that you can have. You can narrow it down. But now they just added a new feature that it wasn't here a couple of days ago, which is select course items. So here, I would go here, I go into my content, and because I have my Ultra document, now you see why the benefit of having an Ultra document,
Yeah.
I can select that, and now I can tell it to generate questions based on that text that
The whole document.
The whole document,
Nice.
it gives me that,
Oh, because you have the document that now can, okay, I see.
okay?
Uh-huh.
And then
You can only do 10 questions?
you can write from this, you can't, but you can keep adding more. Yeah, so you can go back to the test, and then go back to the outer generate, and then generate another 10, and so on. And it will never be the same questions. It always gives you different ones. And again, you are in control. So if there's questions, if you only want an essays, if you only want, like different ones, the Inspire gives you multiple formats. But once you have the questions, if you like these questions, then you can just add them to the test. Here they are. It doesn't generate pictures, but if you want to add pictures, then at this point is where you can add pictures. Because now it becomes just a regular test.
Can the altered documents themselves get really big?
Yeah, they can be big. This is an HTML document.
And so then I could say, I'm attaching something a lot more than 1,000 words in here.
Right. You wouldn't, from there, if you have specific additional items that you want to add to it, you can actually do that. Not only the content, but if you have something
Yeah.
additional to it.
But that content is not going in that description box.
No,
So it's
So I'm wondering
going to
if
be
I'm
way
trick-
more than
I'm
1,000.
wondering if I'm tricking it.
No, this is-
I'm gonna put War and Peace into an Ultra document.
So Myrtle, can we give it a command in the description box to generate something instead of attaching a document?
Yes, you can. Let me,
Could we try something?
yeah.
What was your question?
So the description box, can we say like chemical nature of DNA? Let's see what type of questions it would generate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can
Right.
do that. Yeah, I'm sure you could do it.
So you get,
The challenge would be if it creates the equations.
and that's what I
Yeah,
want
we're
you
not
guys
going
to
there.
try.
Yeah.
And that I would, that's something that for you guys to try once you get out of this, the what I'm showing you here. But yeah, it could, then from here, you can actually have,
Copy on.
notice that I don't no longer have the course, but I can actually, do that, and then just generate. Now it's gonna generate questions based on that text. And
What happened to the previous 10? It will eliminate that?
no, they're still there.
Oh, it's generating, yeah.
Yeah. So if you
It's
notice what I
adding
did,
on to it.
right, it's adding on to it. I went back to the test, and then I just told it generate outer
What
generate. And then you
type?
can, that was the question.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
do as
I
many
have
as
a
you want.
50
Yeah,
question test
yeah,
and a 100 question test.
yeah. So here they are, and then, I like these ones, and I select those, and then I'll just go to the assessment, and now and I can keep going, right? I can just keep going, how to generate questions. Okay, I think we got that one. So now that we know how to create questions, how do you create test bank generation of questions where, I think you guys all use those, right? Bank of questions where you can add. So a bank of questions, you can actually have it part of your course. And then from there, if you have 1,000 questions, you can divide those into the different units, and you can maybe just use 100 questions here, 100 questions there. It is either one.
I try not to use the same questions.
So, yes.
Do you generate, let me back up. So let's say you generated 100 questions. After you generate them, can you put the questions in different banks, like call one quiz 1, call one quiz 2?
Yes. So it will be.
But how do you do it after?
So you create your bank of questions, okay? And then depending, if you're going to do it on the module, you'll create the test, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then from there, you just go to the bank, and then just grab those questions that you want to.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. I know how to do that.
Yeah. All right, so let's do that. Why don't we do that? We're going to go here, and now this is pretty cool. I think my document is here. So, so once again, I have my document, right? My Ultra document, and I want to do questions. This is. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And all I'm going to do is generate question bank. And then now it's reading that document. And I say that I want all 10 questions. And it's based on that document. So it's going to do it. I'll review it. But I'm just going to say, yeah, I like those questions because it's not really generating questions from somewhere else. It's generating from that document. So I want those questions. So then I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm just right now just add questions to the bank.
The question gives you rationale.
Yes, and you can add it as well. So because you're doing it here, it automatically gives you that little link at the top where it says go to bank. And that's how you will know to do the bank. And that's my bank of questions right there. And to generate but now if I want to use this then you know that to create a test, and then you will just use it from your question pool. There you go. Pretty cool, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but now it gives you an idea where you are.
So using this, let's say for example, expanding on what Sue just asked, in order for me to create the questions, so let's say I'm doing it for my syllabi, the syllabi has to be copied and pasted into.
It has to be an Ultra document.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then generate the
Yeah,
question.
just generate it.
Okay.
That just it does it, and then you can call it, you can just call it syllabi questions. Simple. And so we did that, and the last one, rubrics. Again, how you create a rubric. First of all, to create a rubric for a discussion or a test, you have to have a test or discussion. It has to be there. You can't just create a rubric. So that's the that's requirement number 1. So let's do that. And then here, I already have, I'll show you, I already have a discussion. Is that one? This one. And I already, it's already graded. It has 12 points. So now I want to create a rubric. So I'm gonna add a graded rubric. In here, at this point, you will just click, typically you will just click the create and then you will manually do it, which is very complicated, it just takes forever. But now you can actually do the generate. Again, you can use the syllabi, whatever the description or objectives or whatever you want to use for this rubric. You can use points, you can do counting the rows, maybe there's too many columns, maybe I'll just do 3, and I'll tell it to generate. And once it generates it, you can still edit it. You can still go and make changes and not, to your liking. So right now it's doing it. And one of the things that because now it's a little bit easier to create a rubric, see that? So I'm going to do continue. And now it gives me the little pencil, and then I can edit the rubric itself. I like the way it is right now, just because we're here. And then we're going to edit. And now I have my rubric in there. So here's the one thing that I know that's going to happen. So because it's kind of easy to do it, and it's not very intuitive, you're going to end up with a lot of rubrics all of a sudden. It's like I keep copying my courses and I have all these rubrics. And it's not really easy to find where to delete them. I'll show you where to delete those. So you will find them. And I also only say this because I had someone call it. I have these 3 rubrics that I don't want anymore, and I keep getting confused with them. And I thought they would get the site, like, this is how it is, that we just couldn't find it. Like, but it's the easiest thing. So you're going to go into your gradebook, and then you're going to go into the actual settings here, and then you're going to go back to, and here it is, you see it? So if you have 10 of them, they will be listed here, and you're just going to go here, and you're just going to go here. And that's how you do it. Very simple.
From there, could you create your rubric for all of your discussions at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can actually, right at this point, you can actually generate a new, and you can just do that. I haven't tried it yet, but someone told me that actually you can do that now, which is you can actually course copy. You can also copy your rubric. As of last time I checked, I'm talking about last week, I think it was. That wasn't there. So please try it. Otherwise, I'll give you the tip. And if it is the other way, then that's fine. The way that I knew a week ago and before that, you couldn't copy rubrics from one course to another. The way that you will do it is you will create a blank assessment or a test, attach the rubric to that test, okay, and then you will copy the test to your next course, and then delete the test, and you will copy your rubric. So I'm just giving you that little tip. Maybe it's already outdated, but if it doesn't, then you know how to do that now. And that's pretty much all I have. I hope it was
Yeah, very
helpful.
interesting. Thank you.
It was, I have to go teach.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to rush, so now that's why I was.
So I'm saying that they keep adding like different things to the.
Yes, and this will continue.
Okay.
Yeah, but at least the main pieces of how, why and how they're there, and now you know them. Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
average, AI has been updated with about 6 to 8 new features in every AI.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Because it's constantly it's evolving, and it's also evolving based on where it's being used. If it's used in education, medicine, and etc. So they're constantly always updating. And like Humberto was saying as well to follow you, because I'm on the discussion for the roundtable for AI. AI is constantly evolving because of the fact that everyone who will write in, maybe like Humberto and say, I was trying to do this, and they'll say, oh, I never thought of it. So AI
So they-
goes in and tries to update it.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if we like it or we don't like it, it's gonna be here.
It's gonna be.
Oh, yeah, that's not.
It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Let me stop this recording.
Question.